Alright, I debated whether or not to do a video tonight. I've got a massive sinus headache. It's not too bad, but it prevented me from doing some stuff today. But I found this piece of dacite, which is kind of a mid-range between an obsidian and a heat treat. So I said, you know, this would be not too bad theoretically. Alright. Should be easy peasy. It's not exactly a rock to point. I don't know if I did this. It was in my yard for a while. I don't know if I made this by face or someone else did. Anyway, I started out using this piece of aluminum. It's 1 1/8 diameter by 3 inches. And sometimes I use this smaller little billet to knap these smaller points. So yeah, it looks like it's good quality stuff. Sometimes dacite's got cracks in it, or it just doesn't nap well. Might be kind of steppy. We'll see. I was going to try to nap an obsidian spall, since it's not too much different than this, but obsidian, just the glass just jumps everywhere. This is a little bit more tame. Yeah, I don't feel like dealing with a bunch of glass. I do have my gaiters on so I don't have chips in my shoes. And when I finish, the glass little bitty chips are more difficult to deal with than regular rock chips, because they get in your socks and they stay there. You gotta shake everything out extra specially good. This is already thinned down a lot, so it'll save me some time. I'm going to use some steel just because easy. It's easy. If the steel is crushing it, I'll just use aluminum and crushing it, but not in a good way. If it starts to crush it, switch to aluminum. I'm not really in the mood to goof around tonight, but you never know. I could start feeling like this is gonna be a good one. I might start goofing. I might start talking some smack. So what am I gonna make? I don't know. Nice. And you can tell it's a dacite because it's a little bit duller than obsidian. The translucency is there, but it's a little bit foggy compared to obsidian. Although some obsidian is like this. It's usually more clear around the edges. It naps so nice, this particular type of dacite, which I don't know what type it is. I'm just saying. Whatever type it is, it's napping really well. Even though I do these little mistakes. Yeah. Nice. The steel doesn't seem to be crushing the edges. We'll see when it gets thinner. It all depends on the thinness of the edge and the workpiece in general. Is that little dog gonna interrupt the whole video? It might. That's crushing the edge right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what's causing the sinus headache, because the pollen supposedly is low or medium today, or moderate, low to moderate. So something else hit me. Something. Yeah, I'll take my time to thin this down because I don't know if it's going to snap in half. Yeah, that's the thing about trying to do a video every day. You just gotta live with what condition you're in. Yeah, you try to do a video or as many videos per week as possible, and you gotta deal with whatever condition you're in. Well, some people don't have to worry. They don't have to worry. They're in the same condition every day is always good. But me, no. Not always good. But the funny thing about flint napping is I can nap no matter what. At least a little bit of napping. Other types of hobbies that I've had, there's no way I can do it if I feel like I'm coming down with something, or I got a sinus headache, or feel tired, or it's way too hot or way too cold. I can't do them. But flint napping, oh yeah. Doesn't matter. Early, late, tired, wide awake, sinus headache, perfectly clear, all stuffed up, no problems at all. Doesn't matter. The only time I don't like flint napping is when I'm flint napped out. I've been doing too much of it. Yeah. I gotta watch the overshots that I don't get any. Easier said than done, especially if I want to run some good thinning flakes. Good means long. In flint napping, a good flake is a long flake. Some people say a good flake is any flake that doesn't step fracture. That's a good flake. And then if you're even newer, you say any flake that doesn't break the whole thing. Yeah. When you're new, your enemy is breaking the whole thing. Yeah. Snapping the whole thing. Or snapping a big portion of the thing. Like the tip completely off. Something gets completely blown away. For the brand new guys. That's their biggest problem. That plus it's way too thick. They can't thin it at all. Yeah, if you stick with it long enough, you won't even remember the days when you had so much trouble thinning them down. If you stick with it long enough, you'll forget those days. And you'll say to yourself, I do kind of remember having a lot of trouble with thinning, but I don't remember it anymore. Kind of do. And if you're new, you'll say, oh, I'll never get to that point. I'm so bad at thinning that if I ever get anything thin, I think I'm going to party for a whole week. Party. That means celebrate with booze, for those who don't know. Do I celebrate with booze when I have a good flint-knapping session? No. Because it makes me feel terrible. The way I celebrate stuff at my age, I go take a good nap. Oh yeah. Yep. Wake up refreshed. I hate waking up with a hangover or some other terrible feeling. I want to wake up refreshed. Yep. Of course, I never feel it refreshed right away. The act of waking is getting harder and harder to wake up feeling good. It takes a few minutes and then you get into the groove and you feel better. But when you first open your eyes, it's like, oh my goodness, one of those days. And then it gets better and you go, okay, well, that's not too bad. I thought it was going to be one of those days. Yeah. The thing about Dacite is so nice to pressure flake. Oh yes. Even though I'm not that good at it. It's so nice to pressure flake. The pressure required to get a flake is so minimal. Yeah. And you can get nice flakes on Dacite. The good quality Dacite. It does vary. And if you've been knapping Dacite and you say there's a difference in good and bad, oh, you don't know. You don't know, huh? Well, let me tell you, there's some really, really good Dacite and really, really bad Dacite, and you probably got the really, really bad stuff. Why? Because it's just your luck. Yes. Just like me. The first Dacite flakes that I ever napped, I do remember this. The Dacite was so terrible that every single flake was steppy. I do remember. Yeah. It was the steppiest stuff I had ever napped. And the same thing happened to the guy who gave me the Dacite. He's saying, he asked me to nap and see what I thought. Yeah, well, when that's the code word for you're in for big trouble. Oh yeah. Not gonna tell you. I just want to know what you think. That's code for you're in big trouble, man. I can't do anything with it. But you know, they just ask, "What do you?" I just want to know what you think. Yeah. Innocent. It seems so innocent. Couldn't do anything with it. Luckily, he gave me a bunch of it. Eventually, I got a point out of it. I don't know why I remember, but I remember this particular batch. I had so much trouble with it. So you got that batch, I bet you. You got one just like it. There is some good dacite out there. Don't settle for less. No. Go get the good stuff if you can. There's tons of it out there. You just gotta be picky when you choose it. Oh yeah. Test it out in the field if you can. Pressure flake it out there. I usually tell you by default, bring everything home no matter what. But in this case, there's plenty of it sitting on the ground. Be picky. Yeah. I usually advise people just bring it all home and ask questions later. There's a limit though to how much pressure I can put on here and still get a nice flake. If I start going all chaotic with it, like I just did on that edge, at first it was real gentle and I made some nice long flakes. But then I started to really dig in. And when you start really digging in, it starts to make these weird waves. Yeah, ripples and waves. This one is really ripply, as you can see. So if you start digging in a lot, you're going to get lots of ripples. Of course, yours won't do this. Yours will act totally different. Everything is different. Everything's slightly different. Especially if you watch my videos. I'm going to have a result completely different than yours. Just because of our luck. Your luck combined with my luck actually makes worse luck. Yeah. Usually when you combine people together, somebody is going to have better luck than someone else. But if you're watching my video, your luck and my luck combined is less than 0. We get into negative territory. No. So your stuff won't match what I'm doing at all. Nope. Don't even try. Am I kidding? Yeah, I'm kidding. But look at that. That's a crack right there. See that crack? Those will get you. I don't know. I can't seem to avoid those. If there's a way to avoid them, I don't know what it is. Just don't hit so hard. But if I don't hit it hard, I can't get those really nice super duper thinning flakes. Yeah. I just gotta leave it thick. See that? Can't see it. That crack right there. Those are a pain in the, you know what? And right when you're trying to thin it down, they pop up. So let's see. Is it still there? Might have confused you, right? I took a flake up here first. I just wanted to see if it'll flake well, and then poof, took that one off. Do I do lots of test flakes? Yes, I do. Does it confuse a lot of people? Yes, it does. Do I tell them what I'm doing? No, I don't. You don't know which ones are test flakes and which are flakes that I'm seriously trying to do a long one with. Yeah, you think I'm serious with every flake. That's what you're thinking. It's too much work for me to tell you. Let's see. Yep, serious. Nope, not serious. Yep, serious. Yep, serious. Nope, not serious. Yep, serious. I can't be doing that. Some flakes are more serious than other flakes. Some are just cleaning up a spot that looks bad. Some is just a little test. Some is a big old attempt to do something that's difficult. Some requires a lot of focus. Some is just subconscious. I don't tell you because it's such a hassle to tell you every time what the flake is in terms of the importance on a scale. I would have to rate each flake on a scale of importance. Yeah. Does anybody else nap that way? I don't know. They don't tell me. They don't go serious, not serious, kind of serious, they're really serious. They don't do that when they're showing me how they flint nap. Nope. So I don't know if they do it that way. And same goes with the braiding. A braid here, not serious. A braid kind of serious. This one's really serious. This one is kind of, you know, just barely enough. And this one over here, I really got to grind it down because it's going to really break if I don't, or crush if I don't. It's the same with the braiding. You don't know. And it's too much of a hassle for me to detail each and every thing if I start thinking about it. Yeah. You didn't know? Of course you didn't know. I don't normally discuss those things because it opens up Pandora's box. And then you might say, okay, you don't discuss everything. That just makes me float around in space like a man in a spacesuit with no tether. I am in limbo now. Yeah. What else do I not tell you? You know what? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. How do I know? Because some guys, they do better if I don't tell them what to do. Yeah. They just watch. If I don't say anything, they do well. Once I start saying stuff, it throws them off. I've had people, I think it's me, right? But anyway, I've had people get confused when I'm trying to show them how to flint nap. Either that or they just want to do their own thing. They're not really confused. They're just bothered. Like, yeah, okay. I just asked that one question, and that's all. That could be that they just wanted one question answered and not a whole big explanation. You know, and they got to be polite and listen, and they don't really want to listen, but they have to because you're sitting right there with them. Just throwing them off a little bit, distracting them. No, break it. They get all flustered. So sometimes, yeah. Sometimes saying too much is not helpful. Not at all. But you never know. It's one of those things you never know. It is valuable to get one-on-one instruction. Mainly because the experienced napper can see what you're doing. Because an experienced napper will go, oh yeah, you're not, this is occurring because you've got this weird posture, or your tool tip is not correctly shaped, or that stone you're working is the exception to every rule. You're the only one in the entire Western Hemisphere that has that particular stone. Where did you get it? Yeah. No one else has that particular type of stone. You gotta ditch that one. There's no way we can nap it. Nope. It looks just like some other stones that nap really well. You know, but when you handed it, you know, an experienced napper will try napping it. I've been surprised by some stones that have been handed to me. I'm going, oh, I think I know what this is. And nope. This is nothing like I thought. And no wonder you're having trouble. No wonder you're ending up with not almonds. You're ending up with nothing. Nothing. It just gets all the way down to a little nub. A little thumb scraper. Yeah, that's it. It's because the stone is absolutely horrible. But it looks nice. It's either heat treated too much, not enough, or it's a raw stone with these weird characteristics because maybe it was partially heat treated by nature. So some of it naps well and some of it doesn't. You know, in the same stone. I mean, something throws it off. And you've been suffering all that time you didn't know. Because of the stone. So no amount of personal instruction can prepare you for certain types of material. Yeah. Unless the instructor is sitting there napping the same thing you are. You're swapping it back and forth. And that's the way I prefer to do it when I'm teaching. You nap some of it, let me nap some of it. You nap some of it, let me nap. That way I can see if it's changing, if it's consistent, if I need to adjust the way I'm napping so I can tell you how to adjust the way you're napping. Or whatever. This naps a little bit too easily with the pressure flaker because I'm finding that I'm getting a lot of weirdness if I try long flakes. I'm saying I seem to not be able to get past some issues. There's a diving flake. When I hit over here, I think I hit too hard earlier and it dived in and I didn't see it. See that dive right there? There's a diving flake right there. And I've been pressure flaking that area and it's still weird. I'm trying to get that out. I'm just going to leave it in. Yeah. It's just getting more and more narrow. I'm not getting anywhere. I would like to thin it way down because it feels like I can thin it way down, but it's not really cooperating. Anyway. And you get these little white powdery areas too. Yeah, so it feels really nice, but it's not cooperating all that well. I could get nice big old percussion flakes though. It is responding well to percussion, but with the pressure the pressure flaking, I'm feeling like it has mixed results. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes it does really well. Mixed results means I can't predict the flakes. thinning down the base because it's all kind of wonky. And I'm going to notch it here in a minute. It's so much easier to make these asymmetrical. But no one wants to see you make a point that's all weird. Right? Everyone wants to know, how do you make it symmetrical? Yeah, see, I can put nice big old percussion flakes on it, but I'm having trouble with the pressure flaking. Yeah. Anyway, to make it symmetrical is difficult, but everyone wants to see that. I can probably make it thinner if it's not symmetrical. If you want to know the secret of thinning, you've got to put a priority on the thinning to the exclusion of other characteristics. If you really, really are into the thinning. You know what I mean? You're going to make sacrifices in other areas. One of the other areas is the symmetry. Probably going to have to sacrifice some of the symmetry, some of the blade straightness, if you want to focus only on the thinness. For example. Same thing if you want to focus on symmetry, you'll probably have to sacrifice some of the thinness. And it's going to end up thicker than you want. Yeah, let's wrap this up. I really don't feel like sharpening this tonight. I'm just going to put some notches in it and then work on it later. Tomorrow maybe. Sharpen it. Yeah. That sinus, I sprayed a bunch of nasal spray, but my sinuses are still killing me. All right. Where is my semicircular? There it is. See how this gets really thick down here? I think that's how I ended up breaking this. Now that I was thinking about it, I might have hit the side of the notch. No. Maybe not. I thought this was going to be interfering. No, I guess I put too much pressure on the other one. This is a long enough area where I can do a deep notch. I always end up doing corner notches on these obsidian points. But I like them that way. I like them with corner notches. Why? I don't know. Okay, this is when it gets difficult to see. For me and for you. Battery power is almost dead. Hold on. I usually don't plug it in because it overheats the camera. But in this case, it's like, what, 15%. Oh, so nice. We'll see. We'll see how nice it is after we get into the notching. It's so easy to pressure flake. So deceptively easy. Why deceptively? Because it has mixed results. Sometimes it flakes well across the surface, and sometimes it gets steppy. Sometimes it'll crack. Sometimes it'll crush. It's not consistent. Yeah. Yeah, it's not consistent. Anyway, it's still much easier than a chert. Yeah, much easier than chert or flint. The only time I recommend Dacite to beginners is if the Dacite is good quality. Otherwise, Dacite for beginners is torture. I found out. I used to recommend it a lot for beginners, but not anymore. No. 2 reasons. One, like I discussed before, you're probably the only one with that kind of Dacite in the whole Western Hemisphere. And number 2, it's not that easy. I mean, it seems so easy, but it's not that easy. A good heat treat or a good high quality raw, like a high quality Hornstone, nature's heat treat, is best for beginners. Just because you know it's not going to be the stone that is the problem. All the problems are the napper, which means that it's easy to fix or easy to spot. It's not easy to fix, but it's easy to narrow down what the problem can be. Yeah. Just because you know what the problem is doesn't mean it's easy to fix. I should make that clear. It sounds like it might be easy to fix, but no, it's usually not. But at least you know what it is. Yeah. So this is pretty good quality, actually. So if I mess this up, it's me. And, you know, I'm kind of inconsistent with my napping. I'll switch it around and I'll try different things. And I'll be serious with one flake and not serious with the next. And that kind of thing. So that could be affecting this. And the stone is actually more predictable than I think it is. It's just me being a little bit chaotic. I don't know. Too much thinking. Flintknapping is just about doing it. Just do it. Just do it. And yeah, if you just do it and you don't know what you're doing, you're going to be doing a lot of wasting of time, but just do it. That's it. You know, can't take it too seriously. You're going to have to waste a lot of time. Yep. Have to. It's a requirement. Somehow that doesn't look right, but we can symmetricize it later. Yeah. Steppy. And is it the pad? It's probably the pad that's causing the step fracturing. Yeah. Because it's not the stone. The stone is napping well. I can't blame the stone. I can't say that this is steppy. So it's something else. Although I'm not hitting the pad very much with the surface of the material. Maybe in some cases I'm just not noticing that it's up against the pad, and that's what's stopping the flakes from traveling. Yeah. Can't pay attention to everything all at once all the time. I mean, you can't be expected to, even though that's part of the thought experiment. You might be thinking, you got to pay attention to all conditions everywhere all the time. Well, if you were able to, that would make you an awesome napper, perhaps. But I don't think it's necessary to know and to think about everything. I don't know where I was going with that. But I don't think about everything. So there's some times where if something messes up, I don't really know what to correct because I wasn't really thinking about everything. I know this seems kind of weird, but yeah, sometimes I don't know what to do on it after I mess it up. How do I not mess it up at next time? And I'm like, whoa, I don't even know what I did. I don't even know what I did. What did I do? That kind of thing. All right. I got sinus drainage. I got big time sinus drainage after the last spray on the nasal spray. Okay. See, this notch is ending up being wider, and I don't know how I did that. I don't know how I managed to do that. I can't see. I think it's because I can't see. Yep, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to blame it on the I can't see. Yeah. Much wider. I mean, a lot wider. The remedy to that? Make the other notch wider, yeah. No? That'd be terrible? Yeah, probably. But it symmetrizes it. Yeah. Starting to stall the bottom. And I shouldn't be because it's thin enough. I've got these itches. Hold on. This is incredibly itchy right now. Hold on a second. It's itching my arm like you wouldn't believe. Something. Oh yeah, I felt a little. As I ran my hand against it, I felt a little. You can't see it. Can you see it now? No? Let's see, hold on. Not making it up. There it is, right there. See that? That was itching me like crazy. Okay. Found it. I found it. After it popped out, it starts leaking. Yeah, see? It starts leaking after it pops out. All right. Just a little bitty distraction can make a big difference. Where was I? Before I was so crudely interrupted. You can go to the ends of the earth with this material with notching. It just lets you keep going and going and going. Just go upwards a little bit. Yeah. Curve us slightly upwards. How's it? I think I did not get all of that glass out of my arm. Hold on. Did I? I'm going to have to pick it out of there. got no filter. I'm going to tell you everything that's happening. So what else do I do? What else am I going to do? I'll thin down the base a little more. Let's do the little bitty pointy pressure flaker. See if we can run some nice little thin narrow flakes. Yes. Kinda. No. Come on. You can do it. Yes. No. Come on. It's not doing it. No, it's not doing it. It's just sliding off. Why am I grinding it more? Well, it made it kind of jaggedy when I just did that. I'm having to do too much downward pressure, which means I'm not running flakes inward when I do that, and it causes those little steps. Yeah. Nasty step fracture. That's better. It ran a long way that time. I bet you didn't see any of that. I bet you. I used a spatula tool to push on the face of that step fracture. But it's still, I messed it up with that small pressure flaker, with that pointy one. I'll go back to the other one. This one's a little bit too dull. How does that little one mess it up? Don't ask me, I just did. I have no idea why exactly it messes these up. It just doesn't have enough power to generate a good flake, I suppose. Not enough surface area on the tip of the flaker to generate a good flake. I guess. I don't know. This one seems to work better. Yeah, see? I cleaned it right up. Is it symmetrical from the side? Yes. Except it could use a little bit more thinning. A couple areas. I gotta point to exactly what I'm talking about. There's a thick area right here. Run a flake. This little area is thick. This little area is thick right there. Run a flake. Run some flakes right there. Okay? Alright. And I don't care about it being dull across the bottom. I can leave some spots dull and some not. It doesn't matter because it's not the sharp edge of the side. It's right on the base. The base doesn't need to be sharp. It just needs to be symmetrical so that it's easy to haft. Yeah. So it's not going to be tilted one way or the other too much. Now with Obsidian or Dacite, you can get really intense with the sharpness or the pointiness of the barbs. But I'm not going to. I'm not going to get really intense with the pointiness of the barbs. Just leave them a little bit thick as far as width. Leave them a little bit wide and not too pointy. And just do a good pass for sharpening on the edges. Yeah. Because I want to. Not in the mood to break off a barb. Although I took too much off the edge. Gotta watch out for those thin spots. I wasn't even watching. Gotta be very careful because I was not having good luck earlier. Yeah, still not having good luck. Okay. I want to run good flakes, but it's not allowing me to push on the edge too much without taking a lot of it away. Come on. So yeah, I tried to do the inward pressure thing to drive long flakes, and it's just taking bites out of the edge. Can you see? No? Don't worry. No one can ever see this process on my videos. Come on. Alright. Lucky I didn't break that tip off just then. Alright. Dang it. Sometimes it crushes and sometimes it doesn't. I don't have a microscope, so I can't tell exactly how dull that surface is. And if I grind it too much, I just break the whole thing off, break the whole tip off. Grinding it doesn't solve everything. Let's see. I'll try to zoom in and get you a good view of the pass. I try to keep this corner down in this area from making everything blurry. I don't want to introduce too much into this corner. Okay? So I'm going to be in this corner trying to get the camera to not unfocus. And I'm not pushing too much with a follow through because when I did that earlier, it took too much of a bite out of the edge. There's a step fracture. I think I can blow through that. Yeah. And then go back and get that dull spot. So yeah, small flake, big flake, small little pop, and then a bigger one. Seems to work many times. Or sometimes I'll just do the random thing, where I just look for the random dull spot. Just pick it random. So right now I'm just picking at random where I see the dull spots, what I think are dull. Some of them are not dull. They're just white powdery areas that are sharp. Let's just make it dull. It doesn't work that good. Doesn't work that good. Sometimes there's no replacement for abrading it, but I'm going to try. So I don't want to get the abrader out. It takes too much. It takes too much of the edge down. The abrader is not really picky. I can't get in there really well with the abrader. It just indiscriminately shaves down a big area. Drives me crazy if I pay attention. If I'm just happy-go-lucky, then it don't matter. But trying to get really persnickety with the abrader, that's one of the things I don't like doing. But it can be done. It is necessary to be done sometimes. Is it worth it? I don't know. If it's just that one more flake that would make it so beautiful, then yeah. If it works, it's worth it. If it's just that one last flake that would be so beautiful, and it works, and it ends up being so beautiful, then yeah, it's worth it. When does that ever happen, though? That's the question. When does it ever happen that it works out just right? Not very often. Alright, so yeah, I can make it even more symmetrical and beautiful. But I don't know. I don't know. To me, a little bit of asymmetry makes it look even better. Perfect symmetry to me makes it look like some machine made it. Some of you guys are saying, "Yeah, I'm a machine. I want to make it like that." That's not what I mean. It's not machine in a good way. Machine like mindless. Believe it or not, when it looks too perfect, it looks like a mindless operation. Like there's no art. It just looks mechanical. In my opinion, I suppose. To me, when it's perfect, it looks very mechanical, very mindless. Yeah, all right. Do I want to do a concavity in the base? Yes, I do. Perfectly straight across. No, I don't like it. Slight concavity. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. It's not doing much. I'm not doing much. I do want it more symmetrical. All right. Glove is starting to interfere. Let's try this. I am going to try to make it a little more symmetrical. Okay, that's good enough. The edge is sharp enough for me. It's got some dull spots. I guess I can be persnickety about it. Using the spatula tool is the easy way out because it doesn't produce any crushing. Theoretically. But if you don't do it right, it leaves it not so sharp. It still looks like there's dull edges or dull spots. It could be just the wonkiness of it. Yeah, I don't want to pick at it too much. The little bitty serrations makes it very sharp. So I'm just going to leave it. Yeah. Yep, it's an ouchie. It certainly would be an ouchie if you get hit by it. Alright. Okay, there we go. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I didn't feel like doing anything fancy. Okay. Yeah, I just like the simple corner notch stuff, yeah, on the Obsidian. There's a bunch of stemmed points that are not notched, made from Obsidian on the archaeological record, but I like the notched ones. I don't know why. Okay. Okay. See, hafted. Yeah, nice. Although the notch is a little bit too deep on that one. Do I have another one? What about as a knife? Could this be used as a knife? Yeah, maybe. A bit too small. I mean, it would work, but it's a little bit small. Yeah, that little dart point. Yeah. Alrighty. There it is.